I hate to start with this, but
Yeah.
I read what looked like a family tragedy playing out in the news. Your daughter going after you in
It's fun
public.
being a parent, isn't it?
It can be hard.
I go for like 4 or 5 years without talking to my dad. Put out my record, and people finally started asking about my dad. My dad called me and was like, "Don't fucking talk about me in the press." I was like, get fucked. If I would ever spend a summer with my dad, it would be on a movie set. I would just get lost in the shuffle. If I ever messed up a shot, if I ever was talking, like, I would get in fucking trouble.
Did you ever feel like you guys could connect, or it was just more of like...
Not till I was much, much older.
What was that?
Well, I want to just tell my daughter, Elle, I love you, and I wish I was the father in my 20s that you needed, and clearly I wasn't. And I hope you can forgive me for my shortcomings. I love you completely. I love you entirely, and I just want you to be well and happy with you and your beautiful baby, Lucky. And I wish you the best. I feel terrible, and I just want you to know that I don't take anything you say personally. I love you, and I feel that God has gifted this moment and gifted me to be able to just tell you I love you and I accept you, and I apologize for any of my shortcomings that I have. I wish for you to heal and be well, and that you have everything that you want, including the dad that you want from me to be. I'm here. I'm here for you. I love you. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. And anything that you said, I don't take personally. And if I could take away all your pain, I would gladly do it. And if I need to take the hit for you now, I'll do it, and I'll do it again gladly. My heart is your home, and a home is a place when you go there, they have to let you in. And I love you. And I'm sorry that you're having to deal with this, but this is a great opportunity because we can talk about families. I mean, show me a perfect family out there, and I'll be shocked. But families, this is you have to ask, like, is God? I'm a new Catholic. God has presented this to me, and I'm going to use it. And I'm going to say that this is when you have opportunities, like when you're being attacked, or you feel like what the world is caving in on like a lot of people feel now, whether it's financially, whether it's politically, people are separating, and especially with people that are dealing with addiction and families that are dealing with addiction. It's hard. It's really tough on the family, and it really is crushing. And so if we're able to discuss and talk about that and help heal people, and give them the opportunity to let them know that this is common and that there are roots you can do to heal. And for people suffering and families suffering from addiction, and unfortunately it is bigger now than any time in my life, we need to have a path for healing. And part of that path is not just getting clean, but I was talking to my good friend, Dr. Drew Pinsky, and he said, addiction, people have to deal with resentment. That's a really important thing. And I'm glad this has all been brought up, because resentment has to be addressed and managed to help keep the person sober. For families who are dealing with addiction, it's really important. This resentment, resentful people use it as a way to justify bad behavior and any kind of behavior, and not taking responsibility for their own actions, blaming others, and in the destructive behavior, including even using again. So it's important that we heal that, address that, so that doesn't become this destructive thing. That's part of the healing and part of really staying sober and remaining sober and getting back to a place of happiness. So
when your daughter attacks you in public, how hard is it not to, you didn't make any excuses or blame her or attack back?
Well,
how hard is that?
If you love somebody completely, you just, I love her, and all I want for her is to be happy and to heal from this. And I really feel if there's anything that I can, I apologize completely for and accept responsibility for not being the parent that I am now with my new kids. She didn't get that. And I missed a lot. And as a parent, you're going to pay for everything you miss. And I thought that just because I was starting my career at the time, and I thought, well, I'm able to provide this school and this.
How
and this.
old were you?
I was 26.
Oh,
so
and got divorced young.
About a year later, yeah. And she's got a great mom and did a great job, did the best job she could. But it's hard, not having a fractured home from the start is not is not the ideal thing. So it's difficult, and I get it, and I really feel I feel like, look, I'm here now, and whatever I can do for you, I'll be the father that you need me to be now. And I love you, and thank God that I'm here now, and that if there's something that you need from me, my heart, is open. So, and it's okay though. I feel like it's a good opportunity. It's a beautiful thing when God presents you with something. When God says to you, here, when the enemy, when people are like, when you have attacks in your life, when they say hand it over to God, they don't mean just hand some of it over. I mean, hey, you got to hand it over. And when you do, you will have peace. You will have peace. And there's nothing the world can do to you when you have God. There's nothing. They can't touch you. My most important relationship is with God. And if that's good, they can't touch me. There's nothing. My wonderful priest, was talked to me about this, and about like, if you got a good relationship with God, then you're set. But when you hand it over, you got to really hand it over. Okay, you take it. And like, okay, God, I need your help, because you'll be tested in this world. They go like, yeah. I said, because I feel I'm in a good place. I said, oh yeah. Well, what about if they say this? Like, I'm still okay. Well, what if somebody in your family says this? Like, what? They said what? How do I know? So we all have work to do.
Yeah.
We have temptations to want to get angry, to strike back. There's a real temptation for people.
What's an overwhelming temptation?
It is. But, our job, what we need to do as a parent is to love and accept and be tolerant and forgive. And this is the way to love. God shows us the way to love. And our job is to reflect God's love, which is everything, and tolerant and loving, and to just have compassion for what people are going through, especially in your family, and to know that it's not about me, it's about the pain that they're suffering, and how can we heal it? And we're seeing a lot of that. Unfortunately, not just, in my family, we're seeing we're seeing addiction and problems all over. And it's not just about, particularly with drugs. And the difference is, when we were kids, if somebody had like an addiction to a particular narcotic or something, unless it was heroin, and maybe there's cocaine and speed and other stuff and crystal meth around the 80s, you had a chance to get therapy and do something. We have families now who are dealing with a different kind of healing because they've lost their child.
Yes.
We have these porous borders now. And we have this, and talking about, for the Democrats who want to change the voting habits of whatever, remain power in every state, it's really an ugly thing, because what they're really doing is they're just bringing in death and misery. Because the people who are coming into the border are also being abused. It needs to be I'm all for immigration. It has to be legal. But what's coming in now is causing this massive wave of drugs, and it's death. And and it's everywhere now. It's every city in America. It's 65,000 people a year. It's like more than everyone who died in that 19 years of Vietnam or dying a year from this fentanyl. I was at the airport, and sometimes you meet somebody who just has so much grace that it takes your breath away. I mean, much more than I have or could have. This woman came up to me and said, hi, I really appreciate what you've been saying. And I said, oh, thank you. And at the airport, waiting for our bags. And I was just getting a cup of coffee, waiting. And this is in Phoenix, where I live now. And we started talking a little bit, and I was flattered by that. So it's nice when people say something nice about you. And then I said, so where'd you come back? She said, oh, Hawaii. And I said, oh, it's beautiful. She said, yeah, but it wasn't a happy occasion. And I said, what? He said, oh, I was spreading my 17-year-old son's ashes. And I was like, what? She said, he wasn't an addict. He just was a dabbler. And he didn't realize he just thought it was cocaine. and he's gone. There's no rehab. There's no getting better. There's no education. There's no 12-step thing. You have is just people are dead. They're gone. And this family is crushed. But this woman had such grace about her. It's like, whew, you know, thank God has to carry people at the moments like that.
That's for sure. So how did you respond when you saw that you were being attacked? Like, what was your first? Well, the first 24 hours.
Well, you feel hurt, obviously, and you check within. But then, as soon as you get out of me and get into like, well, what is how can we do this? First of all, I was like kind of stunned by it,
right?
And they're like, what?
No warning at all.
No, and then you got like, well, I love you, and I want you to be. I can't get into the specifics of like what she's going through now, right. But obviously, I want her to be happy and well, and to heal, and to heal means not just doing something to make yourself feel better, but to really get to some of the issues that you need to do, and to just like, I love you, and if you take yourself out of the equation and you say hand it over to God, you have to, because if you make it about me and what this, like,
that's right.
I have an adult child now; she's going to have to figure things out, and God bless her, and that she's had a tremendous success with her career, and I want her to have that peace.
Yes.
That peace that I've found, and that love that I've had. And I'm grateful for this situation, because maybe this is what it takes for her to heal, and for other people to know that about this, and so that they can reach out and they can know that, to not take it personal, but go, what can I do? How can I love? How can I heal? What would God do here? How could I work through this? How could I use this as an introduction for her to get closer to God? So maybe there's all this potential there, but there's also the potential to realize that when you are attacked in the media by anything, is to know you cannot take this in. And if you have, there was a beautiful thing, my wife and I, Patricia, just the best thing that ever happened to me, that God gave me, was this, we never did the rosary together in bed. And we never did the rosary together ever. So we were in bed the other night before I flew out here, and let's do it. And we didn't, even remember. No, she didn't remember exactly how to do it. And I'm a new Catholic. So we're literally like going over each bead and doing, Hail Marys, and then Our Fathers, and then what's this bead for? And I will tell you, it was beautiful. And the peace that I felt after that, and the whole next day was really the power of prayer. And so as I hope, I'm praying for my daughter, and I hope that people will pray for her.
So even in the midst of that, you found peace.
Yeah, I did. And not right away, but I did find, the peace is there for you. When you accept God and have God, you hand it over to Him. You got to really do it. And I said, God, I know there's a purpose here. There's got to be something. And as soon as I took it out of me and like my heart, my needs, my hurt, my injury, and go, this cannot be what this is about. This has to be how to heal something, and how to maybe bring this up for other people and other families that are dealing with similar things. And something good's going to come from it. It already has.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.